Om Shanti. Welcome, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. Today we have with us Sister Aruna, who is multi-talented. She has been meditating since more than 37 years now, and she's also an accomplished author. And she also, in November 2014, received an award for Women of Excellence Award from the Yoga Institute of India for her spiritual work contribution. Sister Aruna will be shedding light today with us on the topic, the law of attraction. So I would like to welcome Sister Aruna. Welcome.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, thank you. Thank you for having me all the way across to Jakarta. That's the good thing about Zoom, right? That
Yes.
We are zooming around. Would you like me to start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'd like to start with the story. And the story is this, that there was a man who was traveling, and suddenly he got to paradise, and he sat under this tree, which is called the wish fulfilling tree. So in paradise, you can sit under this tree, and anything that you want to think, you can think about that. And so he thought, oh, I'm a bit hungry now. It would be nice to have something to eat. And just as he had this thought, then a table full of different dishes came. Shall I spotlight my video? Okay. So then a table full of stuff came down, and he thought, oh, this is very nice. This is amazing. But then he began to think, and he thought, well, how can this be? And as soon as he had that thought, the table disappeared. And he thought, oh, it would be nice to have it back again. And again, the table appeared again. And he ate a lot, and then he thought, oh, it would be nice to have some wine. And so some wine came along. Like anything he dreamt, it just kept coming. So as he's lying there under the tree, he started to think. He said, well, this possibly couldn't happen. How can miracles happen? It can't possibly be like this. And probably there are some ghosts that are playing some games on me. And then suddenly, what happened? The ghosts appeared. And he was so terrified seeing the ghosts. And he thought, oh no, they're going to kill me now. And what happened? They killed him. So why is that? What did he do? What did he do? He attracted the things that he wanted. But then if you don't attract the right things, what happens? Yeah, it ends up eating you alive. And this is why we have to be very careful about what we think. So this is the perspective that we're going to take when it comes to looking at law of attraction. Because we don't realize, or let's say we underestimate the power of our thoughts. Our thoughts are very powerful. And I believe that once upon a time, we did just think and it happened. Our frequency was so powerful that we just had to have the thought and it happened. But then with time, what happens? That, let's say that antenna becomes rusty or not as efficient. And so it's not able to send out that signal on time. I think we've also got to a state now where we don't really know what we want. We think we know what we want, but I think we're all a bit confused. Do we want a bit of that, a bit of that? And so a lot of the time we are kind of caught in this tug of war between what to have, what to desire, what to run after, what to fight for, what to create justice for. I mean, we're all caught up in that web. But let's go back to the basics of what the soul wants. And what does the soul want? The soul wants just peace and happiness. If you really go back, right, under all the layers of why you want something, it will really be because you want an experience of some peace, inner peace, or happiness. And peace means what? Peace means stability. And happiness means what? No sorrow. So everything that you do, even now, I'd like you to just look at the things that you go after. Okay, so you may go after what? A job, a relationship, a hobby, fashion, food, whatever. At the end of that, there is an expectation that somewhere deep down inside, I want to have some inner peace, inner calm, contentment, happiness. So it's for an experience of some quality. And this is what's the big difference between our secret and that secret that they speak about outside, is that they speak a lot about trying to acquire physical wealth, power, position. And they don't speak so much about the values, the qualities in the soul, or the experience in the soul. So this is really what we want to focus on today here, is the experience of the qualities in the soul. Before that, let me point out that there is something called the biology of belief. And biology of belief says that deep within us are certain belief patterns that we've created. And these belief patterns govern how we rule our life. So, of course, these belief patterns, if you believe in reincarnation, they can come from past lives. They can also come from experiences of this life, right? Something happened in our childhood and we are carrying it even now. And then even say something more recent, something happens, and of course it leaves a very, very, stark impression on the soul. And all that is governing who I am today, what I am today, and also what I might do in the future or not do. Like it'll be actually a demotivator or a motivator. So we have to actually be very careful about these beliefs that are created, because the underlying theme, and I'll explain the law of attraction in a minute, just building up to it. But the way to manifest it is to really work on it on a deeper level. And that is to change our biology of belief. And for me, I do that by understanding that I am an eternal soul. See, for as long as I'm setting my standards on everything physical, then definitely we know everything physical is going to collapse. So, okay, say my aim is to get that car. And it's fine. I'm not saying, not to have those wishes, ambitions, desires. Fine, have it. But equally, we should have the ability to stay calm if it doesn't happen, or to have the wisdom to say, okay, there must be a reason why it's not happening. But we cannot lose our peace behind it if it's not happening. Because as soon as I run after that thing, just look at the words, I run after that thing means what? I am a slave to that thing. In fact, there's a story of Nasruddin Hoja, and he has lots of tales. And so he's saying that there is a group of men sitting there just, let's say, gossiping, and going past them is this cow, and a man, the man is holding on to the cow. So this man, Nasruddin, he asks, well, who is in charge of who here? So everybody says, of course, the man is in charge of the cow. And so Nasruddin says, well, what if he lets go of the string, the rope? What will happen? They said, well, of course, the cow will run away. And then he asked, well, what will the man do? And they said, well, he'll run after the cow. So he said, well, who's the master of who then? So ultimately, if we need the cow, we are slave to the cow, right? In the same way, whatever we are running after, we become slave to that. So we have to be careful that we live in the world, we can enjoy everything, but the important thing is not to become a slave to it. This is the important thing, to be a master over it. So I'm able to use everything, right? Everything that I have, I'm able to use. But say this pen gets taken away by somebody, then I shouldn't lose my peace with it. Yeah, it's that this goes and my peace goes with it, you see, and I get disturbed. Okay, so back just to finish off biology of belief. So biology of belief really says that, yeah, we have to look at some of these underlying beliefs, patterns, let's say patterns of thinking. So even things like, oh, I'm a female, I can't possibly lift that, or I don't have the skills, I wasn't educated, I can't drive, I can't go there. I mean, whatever, anything, any pattern of thought that is stopping you from doing something, the root of it is some kind of belief system that you have created in yourself. And so we really need to kind of do away with this, because I say take what you can from it and create a new belief system from it. And that's what we do with meditation. So this is what Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about in his book, The Biology of Belief. And he says that there are two ways to change our belief system. And one is through hypnosis and the other is through meditation. So of course, we don't encourage hypnosis, but we definitely encourage meditation, because when you are really calm and it's like you are an observer to your thoughts, then you're able to see what's going on. And when we step away from what's going on, then I'm able to have mastery over it. It's a bit like just zooming out of the situation, and then you're a little more neutral. You're not so emotional. Okay, so we're going to look at that as well towards the end again. So let's come to, the law of attraction. So in the law of attraction, they say it's actually 3 laws, okay, that govern the law of attraction. So one is that like attracts like. Like attracts like. And normally we say that it's opposites that attract, but yeah, they're talking of that in a magnetic sense, that you normally, look for a partner that's got opposite qualities to you, and that's why you kind of need them to complete you, because you don't have that. But I think in general, if you look around, and I think many psychologists would agree, that like attracts like is more predominant. So for example, if you're a tall person, you're likely to gravitate to talk to tall people. You're likely to gravitate socializing with people of your own economic strata. You're likely to gravitate to people who have the same hobbies, same music as you. You see, so on a general everyday kind of theme, we gravitate to people that we think are similar, because then, we feel they won't judge us. We feel they'll understand us, and wanting to be understood, wanting to feel comfortable is a big part of belonging. So we will gravitate to like, okay? Now take this law, like attracts like. So think about it. If I'm in debt, what am I attracting then? I'm attracting more debt, because that's where I'm at, right? If I have a little bit of money, I'm not saying a lot, but if I have a little bit of money, and furthermore, if I feel that I have a lot, even though I have a little, then that goes a long way in attracting more wealth to you. So this is the important part, okay, of the laws. And that it's not what you say, but it's what you believe. Okay? So it's not even the words, but it's what you feel about the words. Okay? So like we always give this example, like you say, I don't want to get angry. I don't want to get angry. So what are you feeling? You're feeling angry, right? The mind is not registering the not or the don't. It doesn't understand these words. It's neutral with these words, but your feeling and your belief already is that I'm an angry person. So this is what you're giving force to. This is what you're giving life to. So I am angry, or I don't want to get angry. Sorry, I don't want to get angry. What are you giving more energy to? And that is the anger. In the same way, if you say, oh, I don't have money, oh, I don't have good friendships, then what are you giving energy to? Is the feeling of not having money, is the feeling of lack. So this is where like attracts like. Your lack is attracting more lack, more emptiness into your life, which actually gives birth to the other law, which is that actually nature abhors vacuum. This is the second law of attraction. Nature abhors vacuum, which means that, like, for example, I have this table here and I filled it, right, with something or the other. So if you clean out your house and you say, right, I'm going to have it empty, I don't think it'll be empty for very long. You'll bring some peace or some chair, something, you know. Even your drawers, your kitchen drawers, your bedroom drawers, you empty them out, you say, fine, they're empty now. But with time, what do? You just stick something back in there. Even in nature, actually, it never stays empty. Something starts to grow. So it's the same concept, you see, that nature abhors, that means doesn't like, vacuum. So in our life as well, we're going to fill our life with something or the other. So it's up to us, really, isn't it? Whether we fill it with something good or something bad. Because somewhere or the other, it's going to get filled. Even our life, actually. You know, if we don't consciously go creating the right relationships, people will gravitate towards us. If we don't say inside, no, I don't want this kind of relationship, or I don't want these kinds of conversations, things will happen. Life will happen around me. And if I don't take charge of it, then they will. That's the expression, isn't it? If I'm not in charge of my thoughts, then somebody else will take charge of my thoughts. And so then who's the master? They or me? So always know that let me be the creator. Let me be the master of my life. Let me fill into my life what I want and not what somebody else intends to put into my life. In this way, be the master of your thoughts, master of what you're asking for, master of your words, master of your actions. And then you create the life that you want. Okay? The third law is of law of attraction is that the present is always perfect. The present is always perfect. Now, what this means is that you have to make your present perfect, even if it's not. Because again, what are you going to do? You're going to attract more of the same. So if right now you're not very happy, say you're not very happy with your job, your financial situation, say your house is falling apart, you're not happy with your house, you're not happy with your in-laws, whatever the reason, you're not happy with your neighborhood, whatever the reason. But again, back to this feeling, if I'm feeling not good and I'm constantly thinking it's all bad or a lot of it is bad, then when I start to think of what I want, it's going to be colored by the things that are not good, that are not working for me in my life. So somewhere, somehow, whatever is my present state, I have to find good in it. I have to somehow make my present perfect, because otherwise I'm attracting the same thing. You see, it's like I see it in spiritual language, like a sense of contentment. When I say my present is perfect, I'm saying, you know what? I don't want anything different from what it is now. Everything is great. It may not be on some level, but just the fact that I say everything is great, what happens inside? There's a deep contentment inside. I just feel good inside. And from that place, I feel empowered. From that place, I'm happy. I have a bit of zeal and enthusiasm. So really, it takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of kind of mind game, but you want to get to that place where you feel that you've really got the reins of life, in your hands, and that you're not being led. Okay, so these three laws: law of like attracts like, that nature abhors vacuum, and that the present is perfect. A few other points about the law of attraction. So what happens is when we think something, we might think, oh, it's just a thought. But this thought builds up momentum. And this is the word I want you to keep in your mind: momentum. Every time you have a negative thought, it's never just one negative thought, is it? Like if you say, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like being here, or whatever, it's never just that one thought. Negative thoughts always bring a series of other negative thoughts. Positive thoughts can be one, right? In meditation, we say, I'm a peaceful soul. And I just sit there calmly. And I don't need another thought. But with negative thought, when I say, why is this happening? This shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have taken that. She shouldn't have eaten that. They shouldn't have gone there. It's never just one thought. So negative gives birth to negative. And as negative gives birth to negative, it's creating a momentum. So I'd like you to imagine it's like, this, you have this little snowball at the top of the mountain. Say there's a snowy mountain, you make a little snowball, and then you set that ball rolling. Then what happens? That ball creates momentum. In other words, it builds up speed. So as it's rolling down the mountain, it's going to get faster and faster till it hits something, till it crashes. It's the same. The example they give is like in San Francisco. You have these hills in San Francisco. So you set a car off in motion without the brakes or without anybody in the car, and it's just going to roll until there's a crash. So isn't that what happens to our negative thinking? If we become too negative over time, there's going to be some accident where we get in trouble with someone, where we have a wake-up call and we say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It shouldn't have been like that. And then I wake up and I realize the damage it's caused to me, my relationships, my health, my body, etc. So let us wake up before that. So let us not even begin the ball rolling. That's why I always say prevention is always better than cure. And this is why in meditation we have to reinforce the positive. We have to think positive thoughts. Even for life in general, really, it just serves us. We're not doing somebody else a favor when we're thinking positive. That's what we think sometimes. We think, why should I think positive for them? But we don't realize that as I think negative, I'm hurting myself first. They don't even catch my thought yet. Maybe they caught my vibration, but they haven't caught my thought yet. But still, who does it affect first? It affects me. So really, when we talk about attracting certain things to our life, let us at least begin to elevate our thinking, our consciousness, so then we attract the best of what is there in life. And that brings me to the other point, actually, that I feel that our essence in being here on earth is to express and experience. Just think about it. If somebody asked you, what's the essence of life? The essence of life is to express. I have this body, I'm expressing now, you all are experiencing. In a few moments, I will experience what you say. If you ask me something or make some comment, I'm experiencing the air, I'm experiencing the light, the energy of this space. So constantly we are taking in and sending out. So why don't we express and experience the best? Why don't we express and experience the highest? Because also we know that whatever goes out will come back. And isn't that the law of attraction? Whatever I'm sending out is what's coming back. Okay, so momentum, okay. Connected with momentum is also this aspect of self-respect. And what I mean by this is who will really be able to attract the things that they want to themselves is the one who believes in themselves. So there's a big part of deserving what you are attracting. And this is the bit where, again, some people miss out on. Some people say, but yeah, I've been asking for that car for so long, or I've been asking for that dream job for so long. But why isn't it coming? Because I don't believe I deserve it. I don't believe I can have it, I can attract it. So inside, we haven't also uplifted ourselves, even image-wise, to feel that, yeah, I can be driving around in this, whatever you want, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, whatever. You haven't, you got this dream here. You are here. You haven't made yourself worthy enough to feel that you can receive it, deserve it. And that's why it doesn't happen. And this is the other classic example, isn't it? When you're driving around and you want a parking spot. So again, if you just say, this is what I say, honestly, because my time is valuable and I want to do a lot with my time. So I tell the universe, okay, my time is valuable. There should be a parking spot waiting for me when I get there. And really, majority of the times it's there, or you just have to wait a very short time. Because you send out that vibe that, yes, you deserve it because you want to make use of your time. You got other better things to do, not run around looking for parking. So it has this voice, this confirmation, let's say, this affirmation that you deserve it has to come from inside of you. Another reason why people don't attract the wealth is because they don't know what to do with the wealth. They don't know how they will use the wealth. And so they just say, well, yeah, I want it, but then what? You see? So I deserve it because I choose to have a higher mission, have a higher purpose, whatever. Then you'll see how it comes to you more quickly. Now, the people who are rich, who maybe don't have a higher purpose, but the reason why they attract the wealth is because that's in their mind. In other words, that's what they're dreaming of. That's the energy they're sending out. And although it's not self-respect, but it is a feeling, it is an energy. It's ego, but it's an energy that I believe I can have. And so they attract it. You see? So that's how more wealth attracts more wealth, because they feel they deserve it. They've worked for it. So that energy is just the energy. Are you understanding? It's just the energy. So if you don't have it yet, just create the energy of self-worth and you can attract it to yourself. But of course, as I say, we don't want to focus on that. Some of you may want to. That's why I'm kind of putting it out there, because it is connected with law of attraction. But we also know as spiritual people that we don't want to run after these material things, because we've realized that that doesn't give you the ultimate peace. Even if you're comfortable, it doesn't mean you're at peace, you see? And to some of the yogi people or spiritual people, I always say, there's so much money out there in the world. Why am I not attracting it? Yogi doesn't mean I have to suffer. Yogi doesn't mean I have to do without. Yogi doesn't mean that I have to be a beggar. So we just need enough, right, to make our ends meet. So there is enough wealth there. We're just not attracting it into this corner. Or anything else for that reason. There's enough love. There's enough respect. But why am I not able to attract it to me? And that's because I'm not filling myself up with that, you see? So really sense of self-respect, sense of self, and being a soul, master of the body, this gives a really great sense of self, I feel. Looking at the qualities of the soul. See, we have skills and specialities that we do through the body. But the quality is something inside. So my quality of loving, quality of caring, quality of compassion, these are all very different. And this is what gives value to the soul, okay? The other thing I want to point out is don't try to control it too much. This is where we have to kind of ease with the drama and kind of sway and flow with the drama of life. You've seen how, sometimes you try to control something and it doesn't work. You try to make a plant grow quicker than it is. Can it work? Can you do that? Or they say, like my mom used to say, a watched pot never cooks faster, right? So a watched pot, you're watching the pot, but it doesn't cook any faster if you're watching it. It just has to take its time. So in the same way, this is another thing that we learn on this journey is everything comes in its own time and we have to be patient. And to want it any sooner is like eating unripe fruit. So if you go out there, actually out here is a very beautiful walnut tree. Now, if I go pick it now, the walnuts are not there. I mean, you see the ball, the green ball, but I'm sure the walnuts are not ready yet. But I can go pick it and open it and find nothing. But when it's its time, what will happen? It will automatically fall off the tree. And so let me wait, let me not beg, but let me just wait. And the right thing will come at its right time. And this is where I have to trust. I have to trust the drama. I have to trust the drama of life, that really everything that is meant to come to me will come to me in its own time. And not to, not to try and control it, not to try and manage it too much. Even in life, relationships, even we've got a few mothers at our Kuwait center, and they've got a couple of they've got daughters each. And very beautiful, very lovely souls. And, yes, they're following a spiritual path, but on their own terms. And that's okay. Not everybody can be the same and not everybody can do it daily. But at least they've got the spiritual values and they're trying to incorporate them in their life. But if I want them to be like somebody else's daughter, or I want to control them, it doesn't work. Then you're not allowing that spirit also to open and flourish in the way that they're supposed to. So let me talk a little bit about frequencies now. This is where we have to get clear of what we want, right? If we know what we want, then we tune in exactly to that. And the example I want to give is of a radio. So if there is a station, say a hard rock station, which is 97.9, okay, 97.9. And now you want to listen to some Mozart, some classical music, or say you want to listen to the news, BBC News. Then what do? You have to change from 97.7 to the other frequency. So you have to tune in to the frequency of the news or the frequency of the classical music. And if I don't tune, then what do I keep hearing? Is that radio station. So presently now, you can ask yourself, what's the radio station I'm listening to? Like, what is going on in my head? What are the quality of thoughts that are running in my head? And does it look like I'm chasing after something? Running after something? Am I afraid of something? Am I sad about something? What is the tune? Let's say, what is the song that's playing here? And now what tune do I want? So I say, yeah, I want to be happy. Yeah, I want to be always full of life and zest and zeal and enthusiasm. Then I need to tune into that frequency, which means what? Frequency here means change your thoughts. How do you become a powerful soul? By just having powerful thoughts. How do you become a peaceful soul? Just by having peaceful thoughts. How do you become a loving soul? By having loving thoughts. So love for yourself, love for everything, love for everyone. That's how you become a loveful soul. It's very easy, actually. The theory is very easy. So in terms of frequency, yeah, which is the frequency of love? Which is the frequency of respect and care and kindness? We know the frequency of anger, right? We know that when we tune into that, we know what we're hearing and then what we're hearing back as well. But have we tried using the frequency of love? Then what's the tune we hear? Oh, bless you, you're an angel. Oh, it's so lovely to have you in my life. Right? When you send out love, what are the blessings that you get then back? That's the tune. That's the tune that comes back. So yeah, we need to really be careful about every morning tuning in to the right frequency. And let me just add here that it's not that everything has to be going well for you to stay positive. It's not that everything, is a happy moment, but you will make it a happy moment by the virtue of your thoughts, your power. And that's the point. That's where you can say you have the mastery over that situation. It's like when something gets spilled on the floor. Actually, somebody was sharing this story with me about the founder of the organization. So what happened is that this person was given the duty to go and milk the cows every morning. So he would take his 2 buckets and he went to milk the cows. And then as he came up to the complex, there was a little steep kind of lane. So as he's walking up there, he slipped. And as he slipped, the milk fell. So imagine that morning's milk that he had milked the cows, that was going to be used for breakfast, and it just spilled. And so the founder of the organization, Brahma Baba, he saw him, and this child said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Baba." And he felt so bad inside that he'd created so much damage. And Brahma Baba said, "Oh, don't worry. Everybody makes mistakes. But look, see, we are having rivers of milk flowing here. And how lucky we are to be having rivers of milk." And he made so light of the situation that child didn't feel guilty inside. He could have easily got annoyed and said, "Oh, see, you silly boy, you don't know what you're doing." But that was not the response he gave. He really totally understood mistakes can be made. And it wasn't even a question of forgiving it. It wasn't even that. It was just acceptance, understanding, and not to make the soul feel any worse than he was. And then, of course, he's going to want to do it again. He's going to want to milk the cows again, right? But if he's reprimanded, if he's told off angrily, then he'll just say, no, I'm not doing that again. Somebody else can milk the cows now. So you give up hope in that soul as well. So really the negative doesn't work. The negative thinking, the negative vices, that kind of frequency in our life just doesn't work. It doesn't work in the long run. People always say to me, yeah, but you need to lie. You need to get angry sometimes. And you can get angry if you want, but the return is very short-lived. You can get angry and yes, you will get the work done in that moment. If you have a program to do, you shout at the people, yes, the program will get done, but they won't want to work with you again. They won't want to come near you again. So it's very short-lived. When you exercise the vices of anger and greed and ego, attachment, it's very short-lived. But if you want a long-term relationship, then you have to exercise these virtues, these qualities, which is actually what Mama and Baba did. So Brahma Baba was the founder and his right hand was this lady called Mama. And she took care of she was actually a very young girl. She was about 25 in her early days, 25. And she took care of all the program of all the sisters. And they worked well in a team. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to stop there now. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take them. But I think it would be nice to just do a little meditation first, because afterwards it gets quite noisy. So let us just sit comfortably. And I'll speak a few words in meditation, take you to that inner calm, inner peace. And then I'm happy to take some questions. So we won't have any music, just not to create any extra noise. So yeah, just take a deep breath. Try not to hold on to anything. Try to just relax your muscles. Right now, in this moment. This is an absolutely pure moment. I get in touch with my inner pure self. I get in touch with my self-respect. Valuing myself, valuing my qualities. And then I set out the thoughts of what I want to attract in my life. For now, I would like you to experiment with attracting more peace, more love, more kindness. Creating a heart that is filled with compassion. The world needs our compassion. creating a calm mind where there are few thoughts, but powerful thoughts. And as I master my mind in this way, I begin to feel like a master of my life. This creates the great inner contentment. The silence of my mind creates a deep contentment. And I realize that everything that I, the soul, needs is right here inside of me. And so everything else that comes is just a bonus. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. It was beautiful, the meditation. We have a few questions here. The first question is Om Shanti. How to bring perfection in the thoughts, as all the time we are not in meditation. In fact, when we go in body consciousness, and because of the past programming in our minds and thoughts, we have in meditation, so we have different thoughts in meditation. So how to remain in the same state of mind all the time?
How to stay in the same positive state of mind all the time, right? That's the essence of the question. Yeah. Well, it's all practice. I don't think there's any shortcut. I think you have to just practice on a daily basis. Like many times people say that, well, we like this, you see? We were not born like this. We too have had to make our practice. But every day you have to water with attention. So every day, like I also suggest you make certain affirmations. And I think you have to really look carefully and see like what damage the negative thinking does to you. Just take a check of that. Don't look at what's happening out there with others. No, take a check. Just see how you feel when you get annoyed. See how you feel. Like keep a diary of this. When you get annoyed, when you get irritated, when you say something that's not right, when you hurt somebody, whether intentionally or unintentionally or with your thoughts, keep a diary of this and see how you feel. And then on the other side, keep a diary of how you feel when you are in a good state. And when you see the contrast, I hope that all of us are attracted to that positive, because that just makes us feel good. So you have to find, one is the practice. You have to find a good reason why you should be positive. And that you will look for as you do this check on yourself. Other than that, I don't think there's any shortcut actually.
The next question is, I want a specific job By the law of attraction, I can get it. But what about the other people who want the same position or job? Let's say there are two people wanting the same thing.
So maybe you are a better fit for that. Maybe they're a better fit. Maybe there's just a slight edge that you have that makes you more fitting for that job. And maybe something else is destined for them. Maybe it's not the job that's destined for them. See, we don't really know. We think we know what's right for us. But maybe the universe wants to give us something else. That's another thing, isn't it? That's what I was saying about we have to trust and we have to flow. Because there's many times where I thought I should be in a particular country, but obviously drama, the universe wanted me in another country. And on hindsight, we say, oh, that was perfect. What happened? So sometimes we can push too hard for something. But also, I'm not sure. You see, we don't know what is the other person's drama, where they're coming from, what lessons they have to learn in their life. We don't know. So we can't say that this job is also right for them. We can only be judge of our own life, because we don't know what we've done before, right? And the baggage that we're bringing with us. But that's what I would have to say to that, is there's many reasons why people don't get something, but it's not that they're not worthy of it. It's just maybe that's not the right thing for them. So not getting the job doesn't mean they're not good enough. In fact, I was fired long ago when I was working in Vancouver. I was fired from my job and I thought I was doing a great job. And I was fired from that job because actually two companies got together, and so they lay off certain people. And at that time, I thought, what a bad thing. But because I lost the job, then I went on to do my conflict resolution training, paid for by the government. So on hindsight, I say great, because if I didn't leave that job, I would never have thought of doing something different. So really, look for the benefit in everything.
The next question is, how does karma relate to the law of attraction?
Yeah, a lot. Because that's going back to the earlier answer also, that I can plant my seeds of good deeds, okay? But ultimately, whatever I'm meant to get, I will get. So karma has its own, let's say, momentum going. And then there's me with my momentum of this is what I want. So yeah, they're very connected in the sense of, well, I have to also connect them, right? I have to connect the dots with my effort. But yeah, karma says if you sow, you will get. So in that sense, whatever you plant, you will get. So in that sense, as I said, if you have the best thoughts, the highest thoughts, the purest thoughts, then that's what you're attracting, right? In that sense. But I also said that if it's not meant to come to you, which is also karma, if it's not in your karma, it's not in your destiny, then it won't come to you. And so for that, I just have to have acceptance, patience, tolerance, and to see what I do have. We're always looking at the glass half empty when it should be half full. I hope that answers your question.
Next one is, Om Shanti Aruna Ben, is the law of attraction applicable only to me, or can I also attract for others with my positive thoughts and vibes?
See, yeah, very good. I'm laughing because, yeah, we're trying to help a certain soul as well. See, again, that's where I think the karma needs to come here now as well, because that person is also going through their karma. But as we send out those good wishes and pure feelings and good vibrations, we help that soul to lighten the load of the karma. I can't change their karma for them, you know? But I can lighten the load, you know. So it's like I can't go do the exercise for you, right? I can't go to the gym and do the exercise for you to build the muscle, but I can encourage you, I can inspire you, I can take you there, right? So you do what you can to help the soul as much as you can, but there are some things that only the soul has to go through. And that's, yeah, very deep acceptance actually we need to have. But definitely keep giving the good wishes, pure feelings. They really help the soul. I really believe that that's what I've begun with. Remember in the beginning that our power of thoughts are very powerful. And I do believe we can ease up the situation. That's why we have this expression, you turn a crucifix into a thorn. So something that was going to be major or a major accident, it turns into something very small. So we have experimented that with our thoughts on different situations, and that really happens. Even court cases. You know, there was a few years ago, there was a very difficult court case in one country, and they were taking it to some superior court. And luckily, somebody knew somebody. Somehow he stepped in, he talked to the other side, and then it was out of court settlement. But that could have turned into something major, you see? So with everybody's good wishes, pure feelings, powerful thoughts, you can ease the situation.
Still in the context of karma, there's another question. If it is not in our karma, would we even have the want to attract a particular thing in our life? Like if it is not in our karma to stay in a big, beautiful house, would it come into our desire to want to stay in a big and a beautiful house?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people dreaming for many things, right? That may not necessarily come to them. I don't think you can say that's karmic because now with social media, TV, everything, like a lot of people are seeing a lot of possibility, right? So a poor person somewhere in a poor country is seeing the possibility of having, you know, big houses and big cars, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in their karma or drama. I mean, desires can come up from anywhere, anytime, but the fact that I have the desire doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to get it. I can create the thought, but then I have to put the action behind it. Like there's a very beautiful plaque in the Kuwait Center, like a marble plaque. And it says that footprints in history were not made by sitting down. So you can't just say, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to climb the mountain, Mount Everest, and just sit back. You can have the thought, but then there has to be enough parallel action with it to manifest that thought. So then you, in that sense, you make it happen. So you prove it with your actions. You can't just say, I dream it and now it should come to me. No.
We have two more questions, sister. Is that okay with you? You have time? It is said that everything which comes in front of us is in a reflect of either my past karma or either a reflection of myself on in my own mirror. To which extent is that 100% true?
Whatever, can you just repeat it again? Whatever comes?
It is said that everything which comes in front of us is a reflection of either my past karma or either a reflection of myself in my own mirror. To which extent is this 100% true?
Yeah, it's true. It's quite true. Because again, you see, I will see things based on how I am, right? So as I said earlier, I will find something easy or difficult based on my skill set, based on my experience, or based on my will to do it or not do it. So that is a reflection of me. And yes, I'm a reflection of my past karma in the sense of this is just very theoretical. Like if I know that whatever I plant today, I will get tomorrow, then I'm a result of what I planted yesterday, right? And the day before, right? So if I plant today for my tomorrow, I am the result today of my yesterday. So in that sense, yes, I am the result of my karma. But this is why we don't use karma backdated. We don't use backdated karma. I always say, look for the future, look to the future and say, okay, now what is it that I want to plant for the future? Don't say, oh, see, now this happened, that's why I'm here. No, the whole theory of karma is to give us choice. And choice brings responsibility. So once I have choice now, if I know that if I do this, this, or this, it will give me this, this, this effect. So which effect do I want? So let me only plant those seeds. So that's where I have choice. And that's where now I realize I'm responsible for my karma. Nobody's doing anything to me.
The last one is, if I say, मैं एक निरोगी आत्मा हूँ, is it making sense? Like I don't have any illness. And like you said earlier, that our mind doesn't attract the words like do not. So should we be careful in this regard?
Yeah, but yeah, see, in Hindi too, it doesn't sound too good, right? So in Hindi, the translation is, I am not a sick soul. So I'm still using the word sick. So I need to say I'm healthy. I'm well, I'm healthy, I'm full of life, I have the capacity, I'm powerful. These are the terms I need to use. Visualize every cell of your body is healthy, is pumping with energy. Don't give attention even to the sick part. Even if say your shoulder is hurting, just say my lovely shoulder, my loving shoulder. It's working so hard for me. It's wonderful. I mean, you have to just really see it in a positive light. So yeah, this takes a little bit of, find the right words, but the affirmations definitely have to be positive. No negative, and they have to be in the present tense. Like now, I am that now. Not I will be healthy. That's also wrong. Because when is the future if not now? So I am healthy. I, about me, am, present tense, healthy, the verb, and it's now, it's happening. That's the affirmation actually.
Thank you, sister. That was amazing. So if we keep giving ourselves or saying to ourselves positive and powerful affirmations, that I believe, or what I understand, is that would help us to create more positivity and attract more positivity towards us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We will be having another session on coming Saturday. We will keep you posted. Thank you once again, Sister Aruna.
Thank you, Sister Naveen. Om Shanti. Thank you to everyone.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.